Okay, so what time do you wake up every day? So what I want to talk about today was your morning routine, how it sets you up for the rest of the day, how doing the things in the morning and having a good routine with it can help your overall rhythm throughout the day, how it sets you up for the rest of the day, how it makes you better for the rest of the day, and how helpful it can really be to push yourself to become better, to get things you need to get done throughout the day. And yeah, like, how are you gonna be able to set a rhythm for the rest of the day and ultimately become happier, right? So when you think about that, you gotta think about things, each step in your own morning routine. Are you happier waking up at 11 versus are you happier waking up at 9? Maybe waking up at 11 is slightly harder, or easier, my bad. But are you more productive and beneficial to yourself waking up at 9? And that's kind of the question you got to ask yourself. And are you more happy doing that than when you wake up at 8 or 9, you get up, you do your morning stuff in the bath, you go to the bathroom, you eat a decent breakfast, maybe you get some good nutrition in, maybe even you hit a lift at like 10, 11, so that when you get back, by the time you had woken up before, now you've already done all of that stuff, and now you're ready to eat a meal after the gym, and now you can kind of like, you don't have this mountain you have to climb with such short amount of time. It's almost like you've already reached the peak, and now you can go all the way down throughout the rest of the day and complete all the stuff you need to do. So, and then you kind of just ask yourself that question for every aspect of your morning routine. Like, are you happier waking up at 11 or are you happier waking up at 8? Are you happier waking up or for a different example, are you happier eating breakfast or maybe just something small? Or are you happy doing an activity in the morning? Or are you happier sleeping through it? And it's questions like that you have to ask yourself so that you can ultimately realize you're going to be happier when you complete things like that early in the day. When you get the gym over with, you get your food in you, you get water, you get hydrated, you complete tasks to make the rest of the day easier on load on you, less stressful. And then when you do things like that, you kind of, and especially at the end of the day, you feel way more fulfilled, you feel more complete. You've done everything you need to do, and instead of doing it in a couple hours and then having no time to hang out with friends, be with people you want to be with, now you have this like this schedule that is easily and adaptable and not stressful to work around, and makes it less of a chore and more of almost like a rhythm. You kind of reach a rhythm where you're like, yeah, it's still gonna be hard, but because you set it up in a certain way where waking up at 9 a.m. is not gonna, you're probably gonna feel just as tired waking up at 9 a.m. than you are waking up at 11 a.m. You know what I mean? So it's stuff like that that is simple but easily maneuverable if you just kind of show yourself that type of way of thinking, that perspective on how to get things done throughout the day. And especially during the summer when you don't have like school or like maybe you don't have a full-time job. I don't know how old and whoever is watching, but if you're in high school or in college, you got school, you got to wake up early. You're kind of forced to do that, right? So, but during the summer, that routine gets thrown off. So when you don't even have to be waking up at 6 a.m. Like you can wake up 8 or 9, and as long as you're productive that first half of the day before noon, then it sets up for the rest of the day. And then you'll hit the end of the day, and you've even been able to hang out with friends for hours because you've completed everything you need to do. You've kind of reached that like easy flow state in a way, which is like something that I don't know if any athletes watching as well. When you reach that flow state, when you reach that like that rhythm, it makes it a lot easier to kind of complete everything you need to do. You like, and especially at a good, productive, and efficient way. Like, for example, with me in sports, soccer, when you reach that flow state, when you reach that state of rhythm, you do things without thinking, and you do them well. You do them to the best of your ability. And so, but it all starts from the beginning, from the ground up. You can't, and that start could be right now, again, with the presence, with the realness, with the authenticity. Right now, even if maybe you were lazy and you woke up 11 or noon today. Right now, you can make that decision to change. Not tomorrow, not the day after that. You can make that decision right now and do what you want to do right now. And that's kind of in a way to help yourself so that doesn't become like a big load right at 2 p.m. when it's the hottest outside, when it's the most enjoyable time to go out, maybe when you're like the least likely to want to do anything. Instead of having to load it all up on that time, you finish it when most of the people you know are asleep, or maybe most of the people you know are still in their beds on their phones watching TikTok. You can go to the gym, complete tasks that you need to do for school, for a job, for money, to work on yourself, become better, so that when you do reach that midway throughout the day, when everyone, I gotta get up, I gotta start doing stuff, you've already done half the things you need to do. And it's like a way of setting you up for an easier path to better yourself. And it mentally strengthens the way that you can like go throughout your day and not view every task as a chore. So when you wake up and then when at the end of the day, you're gonna be happier. You're gonna realize that when I did this, maybe it was slightly harder than what the other thing was, but I was able to do so much more with that time than I would have just been sleeping, especially when you could even go to sleep at 1 a.m., wake up at 9, you still have 8 hours of sleep, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's not like you're losing a lot of sleep, you're still getting a healthy amount of sleep, and you're able to even stay up late if you need to. So when you have that basis and you go through each step in your morning routine and ask you, are you happier doing that, or are you happier sleeping in? So that's kind of the stuff you need to ask yourself. Are you happier going into your morning cared, like taking a shower maybe too, like just getting yourself kick-started for the day, so that when you do the things, it becomes more of a rhythm. And that's what I'm stressing with the morning routine, and what I've tried to implement. Because last summer, that's what I was doing, waking up 11 a.m., sitting on my phone for an hour, not getting out of bed till noon every single day. And then I'd go to my part-time job at 4, maybe hang out with my friends after. So like, and then I'd go to sleep and I'm like, I didn't really do much. I didn't go to the gym back then. I would skip every time. Versus now, when you set up a routine, for me, for example, waking up at 9, eating fruit, getting my electrolytes in, and then going to the gym at 11 so that I can come back and eat my meal, have the hardest part of the day already out. So just more thoughts, more helpful advice, being real with what I used to go through and what I'm at now, what I'm trying to keep going, and hopefully push you guys, help inspire you guys to do the same, help yourself become a better human overall. So yeah.